Actually, what we want to do is comment below. Okay. So over here, things should be working, I hope. Alright, we'll get started right here. So here we're going to talk about digestive health. A lot of y'all don't know how to clean out your digestive system. And I'm going to talk a lot about how to clean it out because this is the foundation to recover whatever you're struggling with right now. Okay, a lot of you're dealing with chronic constipation. Could be a combination, chronic constipation or diarrhea, everything in between. Okay, you're not having consistent bowel movements. And if you do not resolve this, you're going to have so many problems in the future because you neglected when you're dealing with only 1 to 2 days of chronic constipation. Then it becomes 2 to 3 days, becomes 3 to 4 days, becomes 4 to 5 days. Still you ignore. Eventually you're going to be a whole week into your chronic constipation you don't know how to resolve. I'm going to share a protocol with y'all that's going to be very helpful on your journey. But before I do that, I want to discuss what this is, chronic constipation. It's very simple. You have a lot of waste material trapped inside your digestive system right now. If you don't resolve it, you're going to have many complications down the line, which I'll later discuss, and a lot of liabilities concerns. Chronic constipation is like this. If you're not going to the bathroom every single day predictably, you have chronic constipation. You're chronically constipated. You have so much waste material trapped inside your system. This is a picture of your colon, and you have this colon inside of you right now. We all have the same digestive system. This is the ascending portion, transverse, and the descending portion, and out the back for elimination. Now over here, when you're chronically constipated, you're dealing with a lot of fecal matter that is just rotting inside of you right now. It's just sitting there in your digestive system and you're not getting it out of your body. You need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right, first off. Before you're talking about any other stuff, fix this problem right here. Now, throughout this presentation, you guys can interact with me. You can type in different questions in the chat boxes. Today I'm streaming on YouTube, on Twitter, Facebook, and also Rumble, also Twitch. If you're on Twitch, you guys can also find me on this channel. I may not get to your questions right away, so just be patient with me. Now, when you're chronically constipated, you have elimination that is incomplete. That means residues of all feces can build up in layers on walls of the colon. As they putrefy, they can cause health problems, pain, and discomfort. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit more of these problems later, but it's just to give you guys an idea. You think that this is a very thing that only old people happens to old people? Wrong. This can happen to young people. This is a toxic megacolon simply because they have a lot of waste material trapped inside their colon now and they're not getting it out of their body. But you still get hungry, right? You still have to eat. So every single day you're just packing in more waste material, but it's not going out. Eventually, you may have to go for surgery. Let's talk a little bit about your digestive system. Everybody's the same. So you have to look at this photo and recognize that we have so much in common. Food enters your mouth, down the esophagus, into your stomach. Inside your stomach, you have digestive enzymes breaking down the food. Over here, food goes inside your small intestines, which is 4.5 meters. 4.5 meters, this is where nutrient absorption takes place. It's extremely long, and the surface area of your small intestine is large as a football field. Then food will enter your large intestines next. This is the ascending portion. transverse, and finally down out the back for elimination. The large intestine is actually much shorter than the small intestine. It's only 1.5 meters in length. So all in all, you have a very long piece of pipework. This is just an illustration. You have to just look at this and understand that we're dealing with a very long piece of pipework. Now people call this the alimentary canal, which is the food canal or nourishment canal. Okay, we all have this. And if you're dealing with chronic constipation, you may have a lot of obstructions that's taking place right now in the colon. And if you don't resolve it, all that waste material is going to get backed up. Now your small intestines is going to be filled up with waste material. This could end up in different forms of impaction, the hardening of the fecal matter, and it's going to work its way up. Eventually, you may even throw up your own feces. That's called fecal, you're vomiting your own feces, feculent vomiting. And there are many cases of it every year all over the world. People that are not able to eliminate waste out of back. So the waste material travels back up through this pipework, through your alimentary canal. Then you're just vomiting your own feces. So before all that stuff happens, you want to resolve this as soon as possible. I'm not saying this protocol is the right protocol for everyone. This is something I've been using over 5 years now. I've taught this same protocol to hundreds of people all over the world, not just in the English language, also in Chinese, maybe with the help of AI. I will be teaching this in Spanish and Portuguese and Russian to get more videos translated. But here what we're going to do. Now follow the set of ingredients, okay? So there are the ingredients that are important. The steps to make it, how you make this protocol is important. How you prepare yourself and drink it is also important. So I'm going to explain all these different pieces. Before I do that, I'm just going to go through my social media real quick. See if anybody's here. Boy, somebody's here on my YouTube. Who's here? If you're here, say hello. Tell me where you're from. Okay? Don't be shy. Is it my friend from South Carolina? There's a lady. She jumped on a couple weeks ago, maybe about 2 months ago. I was helping her, coaching her out a little bit. Hopefully she's done the protocol. Guys, here's the problem. A lot of you finding these videos on for free and you don't do anything with it. You might as well just pay me because you don't take anything serious when it's just free, sitting right in front of you. So I'm just going to check on my social media and you guys can follow me as well. My handle is the real John Chow on Twitter. Okay. Alright, what else do you have? Seems everything is working. Hey, who's on my Rumble? Who's actually here? Alright, so here we have, coming back to the protocol, these are the ingredients you're going to get at the grocery store. Get yourself some apple cider vinegar. You want to make sure you're getting apple cider vinegar without any sugar added. The different apple cider vinegars on the market are infused with fruits, infused with different things. Don't do that. You just want to get apple cider vinegar, plain. Then you're going to pick some type of citrus fruit. You can choose either limes, lemons, or grapefruit. These are the three you can choose from: limes, lemons, or grapefruit. I highly recommend using grapefruit because it's a little bit sweet but not too sweet, just the right amount. Then you're going to buy yourself some pink salt. This is just pink salt you can get anywhere. You want to make sure you're getting the fine grain pink salt. Next, you're going to prepare some black coffee without any cream or sugar added. Okay. Now, if you do not want to use pink salt, I want you guys to get food grade Epsom salt. Food grade Epsom salt, you guys can find on different websites. It's going on Amazon. Maybe you can pick up some Black Friday deals. Okay. Over here, this is what it is. Epsom salt. This is magnesium sulfate, MgSO4. Okay. A lot of people use magnesium citrate. I don't use magnesium citrate. I use magnesium sulfate. This one I recommend over here. You guys can get this. Make sure you're getting the food grade Epsom salt. There's a lot of Epsom salts on Amazon, but they're for soaking purposes, but muscle therapy. They're not for consumption. So you want to make sure you're getting food grade Epsom salt. Okay. So you guys can screenshot this. Next, you want to get a couple of other things to prepare. So I want to jump on this other PowerPoint slide. You want to go to the grocery store. I want you guys to put together a kit. Okay. A kit that you can use to do your self-flush protocols on a regular basis. So this kit looks like this. When it loads up, get yourself a bottle of water. This is about 2 liters in volume, a metal mesh screener, a single press squeezer for your limes, lemons, or grapefruit. You can just get yourself some measuring cups. Just get yourself another set. Okay, don't be lazy. Over here, this is the apple cider vinegar. This is a pink salt, fine grain. You can get a lot of it at Costco. Then you're going to get yourself a stainless steel thermos. The stainless steel thermos must have a volume over 1 liter. Then another cup for your black coffee. So you guys can screenshot this. Okay. Next, we're going to teach you how to mix everything together. But there's a little bit of prep work. For example, you can't be eating after 7:30. Okay? So let's just say if you're going to do the self-flush protocol on a Saturday, Friday night dinner, you're finishing around 7:30. You can still drink liquids after dinner. You can drink some juices, whatever, but you're not eating any late night snacks. A lot of you, what happens is that you guys ignore my advice, and you guys just do whatever you want, and you wonder why you're not having a successful self flush, or you're feeling a lot of discomfort. You can't be eating any food. Next morning when you wake up, same thing. You cannot be eating any food. You can also have some water, right? Something like a small juice, that's it. But you're not eating any breakfast. So next morning, this is what you're going to do at 11 a.m. on an empty stomach. You want to make this in the stainless steel thermos. In my last slide, I told you guys to get the stainless steel thermos. This is how we're going to mix in all the ingredients together in the stainless steel thermos. Okay. What you're going to do, you're going to add 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of pink salt. So that's 25 milliliters total of salt, right? And so you get yourself the measuring spoons, get them up ready. 1 tablespoon is 15. And each teaspoon is 5 ml, okay? So you got to use that twice. So it's 25 milliliters of salt total. Next, you're going to cut and squeeze 3 lemons or limes or 1 grapefruit. You're going to just cut up the grapefruit, extract the juices only. You want to put it through the metal mesh strainer over here. So there's no pulp. I do not want any pulp or any seeds that could obstruct your drinking process. Next, you're going to use a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, right? The apple cider vinegar, use a 1/4 cup. So that's going to be 60 ml. Next, you're going to add 2.5 cups of hot water, and you want to stir it up. All right. Stir it up real well to make sure all the salt dissolves in the stainless steel thermos. Over here, If you do not want to use the pink salt, you're substituting the pink salt with food grade Epsom salt. So I'm going to type that in. So this is or, okay? Super important. You're not adding, you're only either using the pink salt or using the food grade Epsom salt. Either or, not both. Add 2.5 cups of hot water, stir 30 to 45 seconds, making sure all the salt dissolves evenly. And then you're going to add another cup of hot water. Okay, because right now it's getting colder, I want you guys to just put another cup of hot water in. Now, during the summer, I tell people to put another cup of room temperature water, kind of lowers the temperature back down a little bit so it's drinkable. But right now it's winter, it's going to cool quite rapidly, so I'd rather just have you use hot water and let it cool slowly, okay? I want this to be hot. I want the solution to be hot. It's not going to be burning your tongue, but it's going to be like black coffee. For example, you got everything mixed up in here, right? In the specific set of directions that I gave you, you guys can screenshot this. Over here, you're just putting down all the ingredients, mix it all up. Over here, this is black coffee prepared separately, and you got the bottled water right here. I want you guys to use items that you cannot break. What we're trying to do, we're going to create such a laxative effect that is going to spew out so much garbage from your behind when you do this. I've been doing this since 2019. Okay, I've taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to do this. And the reason why I'm confident in my protocol is because this works with anybody. Doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, your religious background, your political beliefs, none of that stuff matters. You may find other protocols online and many people fail with them because there is a specific set of directions that is very, very consistent. And this is the one, okay? So happy Thanksgiving if you're watching this. Next, I'm going to teach you how to drink this solution down because a lot of you mess this up too, okay? Here are my directions. Number 1, you're going to take a tiny sip of the water, the bottled water, hold it in your mouth. Then you're going to take a bigger gulp of the sulfur solution and drinking it down. Then you're going to take a tiny sip of the black coffee, which is optional, okay? If you don't want to drink black coffee, that's fine. The black coffee is there just to reward yourself so you can repeat the process over and over. Once again, you're going to take a tiny sip of the bottled water, hold it in your mouth, take a bigger gulp of the sulfur solution, drinking it down. Take a tiny sip of the black coffee to reward yourself with a familiar taste. When you're drinking this, you want to be as relaxed as possible. You want to listen to some classical music, maybe some Rachmaninoff, Piano Concerto 2, Movement 2. That's what I listen to. You want to put yourself in a state where you're not so attached to the outcome. Many people, they go into this, they're very, very rushed. They want to produce a particular outcome, and in the process of doing so, they're drinking this way too quick. I'm telling y'all, do not drink this fast. You can take 45 minutes, you can take an hour and a half. One more time, taking a tiny sip of the bottled water, hold it in your mouth. Then you're going to take a bigger gulp of the sulfur solution, drinking it down. Okay? Deep breathing. Every single time you're doing this, you're doing deep breathing. Then you're going to sip on black coffee, tiny sip, to reward yourself. You're going to repeat steps 1 through 3. Okay? But you're going to finish the sulfur solution first. Very, very key. You're not trying to finish the bottled water and the sulfur solution together at the same time. The sulfur solution is already 1 liter. The bottled water is 2 liters. You're going to put down 3 liters of solution? No, you're not going to do that. You're going to feel very uncomfortable. The reason why I share this in a specific way, because I made a lot of mistakes in the past. I've been doing this for over 5 years. 5 years, over half a decade. Okay? And I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning of this journey. and I had to correct them. And this is the reason why many people, they fail with this very, very basic protocol. Now, this protocol may seem very, very challenging to you, but I'm telling you, this is basic. Okay, there's so many other protocols on top of this. If you want to unlock yourself to the next level, if you want to unlock the next level of your health, you want to master this one first. Okay, the reason why I'm telling y'all to use items that you cannot break is because you're going to be run to the bathroom multiple times. This is going to create such a laxative effect you have never experienced before in your life. Okay, in the process of doing so, you may be knocking things over. So if you decide to say, oh, I have a glass, pitcher that I can use, right? I'm going to mix that in. Well, number one, you may knock the glass over, or you may be dealing with thermal shock. Depends how high quality that glass is, right? Sometimes you pour hot water into glass. Like, for example, if I pour hot water into this glass may shatter. I want you to eliminate as much risk as possible, because you're going to be running to the bathroom, you're going to be knocking things over, and you may even slip and fall, right? But now you have broken glass on the floor, you're going to cut yourself because you slip over it. Now you're going to end up at the ER, and the ER doctor is going to be like, I don't know what to do with y'all, because you just cut yourself up, you're still shitting out of your behind. What the hell did you do to yourself? And you say, I was watching this guy on YouTube, so please don't mention me. None of this is professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. You guys understand? You're on your own. You are on your own. This is what's going to happen after you finish the self-flush protocol, and some of you may have some bowel movements even before you finish completely. You're going to experience some poop milestones, all right? The solids are going to first come out, okay? Just regular solids, just regular bowel movements going to come out. And some of y'all, because you're so backed up, you're going to see logs and logs and logs coming out, okay? And some of them could be completely pitch black. Why is it pitch black? Because some of y'all, you have hardened fecal matter on the walls of your large intestines, because it's been sitting there for such a long time. You've never done anything with it. Now they're just encrusted, and they're finally coming back out. Okay? And the more relaxed you are, the better. You're never trying to force anything out. You're never clenching on the toilet. If you sit on the toilet, nothing is there. Don't worry. Get back up again. Do some light stretching. Okay? Do some maybe light walks around the house. That's it. All I want you to do is look at where you're sitting now and that line to the bathroom. Make sure there's no obstructions, because if you got little toys on the ground, maybe you got kids, right? You're going to be running to the bathroom. Now you're going to slip and fall over some toy. I'm always thinking about liabilities concerns, how you can avoid another catastrophe. You're living on top of catastrophe right now, which is chronic constipation. And if you don't resolve it, all that waste material is going to exude, it's going to ooze into your other organs, which I'll already discuss about. That poop later over time is going to become soft poop, okay? It's going to become softer and softer over time. And over time, it's going to become really, really soft poop. When you're here in this stage of the game, you still have plenty of water bottle right here. You can take this water bottle to the bathroom with you, continue to drink it, but I want you to drink it in a safe way where you're drinking it down, but you're also exhaling the air through the nose. So you're only putting down water pressure. You're adding more water pressure on top, okay? And you're gonna flush out even more debris from both the small and large intestines. You're getting the waste material out. All the hardened fecal matter, the nasty encrusted fecal matter stuck in your colon. But eventually, that self-flow solution is going to carry the waste material also in the small intestines straight into your large intestines and also out the back for elimination. That's why you have a constant stream of this nasty diarrhea tsunami that is coming out. When I explain this to a lot of people, they don't believe me. They think that this is just exaggeration, hyperbole. Well, I make it a believer out of them, okay? I'm telling y'all, you guys, this is what you gotta do. You're gonna continue to drink on that bottled water, adding that water pressure on the top of your digestive tract, and that water is just gonna rush through. It's gonna go through your stomach. It's gonna rush through this 4.5 meters in the small intestines, and it's gonna rush through that 1.5 meters in the large intestines, getting all that waste material out. So you got the waste material that was sitting there out, okay? Getting the trash out of the small intestines out. Even the selfless solution that you drank earlier is also out in the toilet. Now you're just putting more water pressure on top, adding more water pressure to flush out even more debris from both the small and large intestines. And that's what we do, guys. Over here, I want to discuss the importance of getting yourself some type of a stool. When you're using the bathroom, you really should not be using the bathroom at a 90 degree. This modern toilet is the devil, I'm telling you. Because people are sitting on this modern toilet. That's what's causing a lot of the hemorrhoids, a lot of the hernia, anal fissures. What else do you have? You have whole sorts of other problems. Because we're not designed to use the bathroom at a 90 degree. We're designed to use the bathroom in a squatting position. Okay? So over here, I want to just go through my social media, see if you guys have any questions. Somebody's still on my YouTube. Holla at your boy. Don't be shy. Okay? Let me check my YouTube. So if you're on my anyone here? So don't be shy if you're on my YouTube. Just say hello. And if you have any questions, I can help you, maybe guide you along. So after you do this process, the first thing I want you to put down is probiotics. Probiotics are extremely important. Probiotics are there to help you digest. As you're doing the self-flush protocol, is as you're going to wash out a lot of probiotics. So you want to recoat back up your alimentary canal with probiotics. Just put them down. Before you begin eating something, I also want you to take down electrolytes. There are many different types of electrolytes you can drink. That you can use a combination of coconut water, okay, watermelon, pomegranates, okay. You can even add a little bit of salt. You can look up ingredients online if you want to make yourself a natural Gatorade. Do not just buy the Gatorade. No. You can make a Gatorade, a natural Gatorade that is much better, healthier, without any artificial colors or flavors. That's what I want you guys to make. Find your own recipe, whatever you have in season. Okay, it's going to be a combination of fruits, coconut water, pomegranate, all that stuff. But you can also add a little bit of Celtic salt, pink salt for the mineral content. Whatever you need to do to replenish the sodium chloride, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Now, these are different electrolyte powders out there in the market. I haven't tried them before. I'm just saying, some people, they like to use these type of different things. But you got to replenish the electrolytes. Because right now, doing the self-flush protocol is going to deplete your electrolytes. That's why you got to replenish. So when dealing with your health, number one, you want to get the waste material out. After you get the waste material out, you got to replenish. That's the game. Now I want to deal with some liabilities concerns. Most people, they just ignore all the good advice, and they're seeing this different videos online, and they know they need to resolve this, but they don't do anything. So I have to inject a lot of fear. I need to provoke you to make you take action. For me, I tried so many things in the past before I even tried different medications, okay, laxatives, And what's happened was that they stopped working. And you'll find a lot of people online struggling with the same problem. They think that, oh, my path to success is taking some of these medications, or I can do some type of a massage, acupressure. I know a lot of people online, I see their posts all the time. They've gone to see so many different GI doctors, naturopathic doctors. They still cannot get their problem resolved. They're already at the max strength, prescription strength medications. They still can't get this problem fixed out. So this is the toxic megacolon. This is a life-threatening complication of inflammatory bowel diseases. They can be very painful and cause permanent damage to the large and small intestines. What is it characterized by swelling and dilation of large intestine due to the inflammation and accumulation of a large amount of gas. Let me tell you, this is more than gas. This is just fecal matter. This is all the Taco Bells, the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the Philly cheesesteaks, the Dorito chips, the Costco food samples, the frozen pizzas. All the stuff you've eaten through that months and months and months, you're eating all this food, but you're not going to the bathroom every single day on a consistent basis. You're wondering, where did all that food go? Well, it's still somewhere in your body. And eventually the doctors say that, listen, we need to do a surgery. And the surgery is going to be a huge operation because we're removing your whole colon. Okay? So if you're only 1 to 2 days chronically constipated, you can't ignore those early signs. You need to fix it while it's only 1 to 2 days. Because if you don't fix it, it's going to be 2 to 3 days, 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 days. Before you know it, you might be a whole week. There are people out there that do not use the bathroom 7 days in a row. 8 days, 9 days, 10 days, even 14 days. They're out there. Different procedures that you can expect. I want you guys to study human physiology. I want you guys to learn about these different operations so you can avoid them. Because if you don't learn about them, you're going to be very flustered when you're at the hospital. And the doctors, what they want to do, they want to escalate you to the next testing procedure all the time, right? Because they want to make money, right? They're all about lifetime customer value. So over here, I'm going to teach you guys, this is called a left hemicolectomy. As you learned from my previous slides, this is the colon. Ascending, transverse, and descending, and out the bathroom elimination. Let's just say the descending portion of your colon is somehow diseased, and the doctors have to remove it completely. What they do is they actually cut out this diseased portion, and they're going to reattach the remaining sections. This is what a left hemicolectomy is. Over here, this is a colostomy. Let's just say somebody, they're struggling with health issues, having a diseased portion of their colon. So this disease section was completely removed. Well, you may be wondering, well, how do you get the waste material out of the body? Well, they got it all lined up for you. They're going to install a stoma bag. This is a bag you're going to have to manage for the rest of your life. This is attached to the colon outside the body. Okay, and you're going to create a hole. The hole is called stoma in the abdominal wall, which allows the waste to leave the body. There are entire Instagram pages that talk about this. There are people, they tell others how to, work with this bag regularly, how to keep it clean, disinfected, and I want to avoid this. I'm sure you want to avoid this too. And the way that you avoid it is by treating your chronic constipation early. You may be very young right now. You may be 20 years old, 21 years old. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there are many people, young folks, that are struggling with chronic constipation now. And they think that it's somehow normal. They may watch another YouTuber. They're saying they have chronic constipation. They don't go for 4 to 5 days in a row. And you think that's somehow normal. Over here, we're dealing with a right hemicolectomy. See, that's how this procedure, going to teach you how this procedure is done. Over here, this is the ascending portion of your colon. This little piece right here is actually your appendix. Over here, this is where your small intestines is attached to the large intestines. Small intestines nutrient absorption, and now food will enter your large intestines for feces formation. As you say, whatever reason, the doctors decided that your ascending portion completely diseased, they're going to remove it. So they remove it. After they remove it, what do? They use the small intestines, which was previously attached to this, they reattach it. In the world of medical industrial complex, there's a lot of plug and play. They think that your body parts are like USB ports or something. So if you don't want this stuff to happen to me, you need to fix your chronic constipation early. Next, this is called ileoanal anastomosis. Okay? With the complete removal of your large intestine, this is a procedure that they may do. So they remove the whole colon, kind of like over here. And by the way, this did not come out of a silverback gorilla, okay? Out of some huge animal. No, this came out of a human being, completely filled up with fecal matter. So the doctors remove this completely. Well, how does the waste material go out? They use the remaining portion of your small intestine, patch it up, and create a pouch around the anus, which allows your waste materials to still exit out of your anus. That's what happens. Now, what happens is that this procedure allows you to expel waste, but it's very likely you'll have several watery bowel movements daily. One of the functions of your large intestines is to simply extract the water out of the feces formation. Okay? When you're dealing with an ileoanal anastomosis, you may have to wear adult diapers for the rest of your life. I want you guys to spend time with your friends in medicine. Spend time with your friends that are in nursing. Don't just take my word for it, okay? I want you guys to take them out for lunch or dinner, whatever. And if you talk to people in medicine, they like to talk about work. They love to talk. That's all they talk about. Then you just ask them, hey, so how was your day? You know, I was watching this video online. Do you deal with a lot of patients dealing with digestive problems? Okay. How many patients they actually have this installed? The colostomy bag. Okay. How many of those patients are dealing with different type of hemicolectomies, the removal, a partial removal of the colon? Just ask them. This lady was only 23 years old, and her chronic constipation was so severe, her colon was severely displaced. When you're looking at a healthy colon, it should be in this shape, ascending, transverse, down, out the back for elimination. If you look at her colon, it's all over the place. It goes up, loose back down, okay? Kind of got a kink in the hose, then it loose back up again. Right now, her colon's all up in her chest area, probably pushing up against her lungs. She may have trouble breathing, okay? Before the waste material finally makes its way back down and out the back for elimination. But just imagine when she's standing up at any time, the waste material is fighting against gravity just to get to this point in her colon before finally making its way to the top of this roller coaster, finally back down for elimination. I don't know what the doctors had to do to fix her. I'm just saying this is not reserved for the elderly people. This is very common in young people. 23, okay? I'm gonna take a short break. How's everyone doing? Got somebody still watching me on my YouTube. Appreciate you. Just holler at your boy if any questions. I'm also streaming on different platforms. If you have any questions regarding digestive health, don't be shy, just ask your questions, okay? Next, we're going to talk about diverticulitis. You're going to hear this term quite often because many people have them. Now, you're dealing with different pouches called diverticula that are forming in the GI tract. Okay. Now, according to some medical texts, could be the Mayo Foundation, this is what they're saying. Condition commonly occurs in the Western population, can be seen in 10% of people over the age of 40 and 50% of people over 60. The rate of this disease typically increases with age. Okay. Scientists believe that this condition is due to not eating enough fibers. Not eating enough fiber leads to constipation, which puts extra pressure on the colon walls, and this causes diverticula or bulges to form the weak areas of the colon. The risk factors for diverticulitis may include age over 40, male, overweight, eating a low fiber diet, eating higher fat and red meat, not enough exercise. They can take a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs such as aspirin, ibuprofen, steroids, opioids, and smoking. Moreover, the signs and symptoms of the condition include pain, tenderness in the left lower side of the abdomen, nausea, vomiting, chills, cramps in the lower abdomen, constipation or diarrhea, rectal bleeding. Many people have this problem, y'all, okay? Many people. And what you gotta do is recognize that, listen, there's so many risk factors ahead of me if I don't fix chronic constipation early. As you're getting all this waste material trapped inside your colon, right, what's going to happen is that it's going to cause inflammation. Waste material, it has to exit out of your body. If it stays in your body, it's going to cause inflammation. And this may turn into something even more sinister, such as autoimmune disease, where the body begins to attack itself, okay? This is ulcerative colitis. Ulcerative colitis happens when you have inflammation in your colon. What are the symptom flare-ups? You may have a combination of diarrhea, bloody stools, abdominal cramping, weight loss. Okay? What are the treatments, medications, and surgery? What do the doctors usually do when you're dealing with ulcerative colitis or UC? They prescribe something called corticosteroids or immunosuppressants. Now, in corticosteroids and immunosuppressants, they work like this. They turn off your immune system. That's what they do. The body's trying to tell you something is wrong. There's inflammation that is taking place. That's why there's symptom flare-ups. But what corticosteroids do, they turn off that function. So in the short term, you're not experiencing flare-ups. But you haven't really treated what the root of the problem is. You haven't really identified what the root of the problem is. And that's why if you're taking this long term, it's very, very dangerous. On top of that, you want to look into the different side effects with immunosuppressants and corticosteroids if you take them long term. Well, even non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, aspirin, ibuprofen, if you take them long term, there are going to be side effects. Here we have autoimmune disease, alright, Crohn's disease. What are some of the symptoms? You have diarrhea, stomach aches or cramps, blood in the stool, tiredness, fatigue, and weight loss. Now, what do doctors say? That this disease is caused due to genes, a problem in the immune system, smoking, a previous stomach bug, and an abnormal balance of gut bacteria. The risk factors for this condition include family history, smoking, medications like antibiotics, birth control pill, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, such as aspirin, ibuprofen, high-fat diet. So with a situation like this, what doctors usually prescribe is more corticosteroids or immunosuppressants. People that are also straining on the toilet, okay? So straining on the toilet is very, very common. And people are dealing with the rectal prolapse. Prolapsing of the rectum, simply people are sitting on the toilet for a very long time trying to force things out. As they do this day in and day out, this is a constant struggle for many elderly people. And now it's shifted into a lot of young people dealing with this as well, because since their youth, they've been eating so much garbage. They've been having so many bouts with chronic constipation at an early age. So they're also straining on the toilet. Eventually, the tail end of your rectum is going to flip inside out. This is something even more severe. This is called anal abscesses and fistulas. Now you have infected cavity filled with pus. Okay? Very, very nasty. Where people are dealing with anal fissures, dealing with breakages, dealing with cracks, dealing with splittings. Could be very, very painful. Many people, their main problem is chronic constipation. Infrequent stools or severe straining, that's what's causing this. Now, when you go to the doctor, they're going to say something like, well, you may have a genetic predisposition to this condition. In other words, some patients are more prone, based on their genes, to develop this condition while others don't. Just because you're reading something on the internet doesn't mean you have to believe everything that they write. You should not take anything as is. Even this presentation, you have to do your own research. I'd much rather have you guys go out and do your own research and figure it out for yourself. And one of the first things you got to do, you want to go buy yourself a book on human physiology, or just check out some free books online. There are free books on archive.org, or even Library of Congress. Right? Maybe you pull out a couple of books on gastro diseases. Maybe you have a gastro doctor in your Rolodex. Why don't you call them up? Maybe you have a proctologist. Okay, I will talk about. Hemorrhoids are very common. You see commercials for this. Even at one point, I was taking preparation H. Very embarrassing. You never want to be that guy, pulling up the CVS and be like, hey, give me a couple of cases of that preparation H, right? But at that time, I did not know how to resolve my chronic constipation. Hemorrhoids, these are very common. These are swollen veins that can take place inside your rectum or outside. They could cause a lot of pain, itching, rectal bleeding, combination of all three. Now, when you are dealing with these problems, what do the doctors do? Maybe you're a family doctor, or I think in the UK, what do you call it? A general GI, what is it? A general, whatever. They tell you to go see a proctologist. The proctologists, these are also highly specialized medical doctors, but they're only dealing with the colorectal area, which is the very tail end of your anus. They're going to examine you, okay? Going to examine the rectum and the anus thoroughly every single day. These guys, they make a lot of money. They're ready to put on the latex gloves to examine you. This guy calls himself the bottom whisperer, all right? And they're going to say, oh, we've identified some rectal prolapse. Okay, maybe you got some anal abscesses and fistulas. You got some anal fissures. But don't worry, we have different, very, very minor surgical procedures that can help patch you up. Oh, you got some hemorrhoids? We know how to patch it up as well. No problem. You have to always ask yourself, are you treating the root of the problem? If you're still dealing with chronic constipation upstream, the proctologist is fixing down here. Don't you think that if you're still dealing with chronic constipation, you're going to develop new hemorrhoids, new anal fistulas, abscesses, or even anal fissures? And that's what they want. This guy wants you to go back and see him again and again and again. Okay? So if you don't want that, you want to fix your chronic constipation early. Listen, I have a form. If you're interested in fixing your health, fill out this form. Okay? A lot of you can benefit from coaching. Okay? But I want to learn a little bit more about your situation, whatever situation you're going through right now. If you want to fill out this health questionnaire, fill this out to the best of your ability. Okay? And you want to be as descriptive as possible when you're filling this out, so I can really help you to the best of my ability, right? And you want to invest in yourself, thinking about how you can invest in your own health. A lot of y'all finding a lot of free videos online, that's great, but you do nothing with it. Absolutely a whole lot of nothing. And you wonder how your health is still not changing, okay, month after month, year after year. And it's only progressively getting worse. You're only going either a trajectory that is into the light, okay, into a better future, or you're just doing a gradual descent downwards. That's it. You have to put that energy in. You need to look at the liabilities, concerns that are ahead. And they don't have to be your problems. They don't have to be your tragic mistakes or setbacks. You can learn from the setbacks of others. And that's what I do. I always like to look ahead. It's like, how are people really screwing this up? Well, there are entire Facebook pages that talk about this. People are looking for answers. And let's just read some of these, okay? Because there are people posting in these forums anonymously or with their public account because they're so desperate, looking for answers. They've already gone and see different doctors. They've gone and see different specialists. After all that, what do they get? Whole lot of the same thing. More chronic constipation, more issues. Sorry to be crude, but there's a big lump of poop that won't come out. What do I do? Anyone, any idea? Suffer from constipation now and again, especially when I have been eating crap for the past couple of weeks. I've been constipated. When I go to the toilet, nothing is coming out, or if it does, it's hard. Also been bloated, especially upper tummy and like a trap wound, feeling plus since yesterday. Not really got an appetite. Tried Docalese, never really worked. Eating more healthy now and trying lactulose since Tuesday, but feel like it's just making me fart. LOL. Also to mention having some stress and anxiety with family members been in hospital. What can I do to get my tummy back to normal things? Consultant has put me on prochloroprine glycerol suppositories. Any reviews? So there are a lot of medications that are beyond your scope of awareness because they're prescription strength. You actually have to get them from different GI doctors or consultants. And you guys can read through the forums. You can type in this keyword, okay? You can type in all the different drugs that people are taking. And you will find examples after example where they stop working. You guys understand? Hi everyone, had a horrible couple days. A lot of what would come out and I just couldn't push out what was behind it. But after many attempts making me sore, I finally did go. What I wanted to ask is, do you ever feel queasy to your tummy because of constipation or bowel problems? Sometimes I think it's all the worry and the stress the constipation causes. Can you see this is just a problem they've been dealing with continually? It's always in the back of their minds. Over here, another anonymous member says, has anyone vomited fecal matter because it couldn't go down? What did you need to do about it? And somebody else responded, please go to the ER. This is dangerous. What this person is describing is an example of fecal vomiting. So this is an unusual symptom associated with gastrocolic fistulas, cocrophagy, and violent reverse peristalsis. Okay? This is a mechanical intestinal obstruction, right? Most people are dealing with a mechanical intestinal obstruction. That very long pipe we talked about at the beginning of this presentation, so much garbage is completely locked up in this pipework, and now the fecal matter is just working its way back up, and now it's just coming back up. Somebody says, what's the longest you've gone without poop? Somebody said 4 weeks. Was hell, I was throwing up feces, unblocked myself, suppositories eventually. Now somebody else says, I'm so tired of this. This morning I was driving, all of a sudden it hits me. I didn't make it to the bathroom, all over my shorts and car seat. I am so incredibly exhausted from this. I'm to the point of wearing adult diapers. There was a lot of mucus. This is normal. No, definitely not normal. I've been reading around and it seems that lenses, amitiza, motegrity, and most of those eventually stop working. Has anyone noticed that or have any other ideas? Can't believe what we're left to do to be comfortable. I'm so backed up. My stomach is very bloated. Looks and feel I'm 9 months pregnant. This is affecting my quality of life, getting depressed. I try so many things and still not able to clean it out. Oh boy, I'm impacted. All home remedies, OTC laxatives, enemas, dietary changes, additions, nutritional oils quit working last month. All of a sudden, the ER couldn't reach it, and their enemas didn't work. The highest dosage of lenses does nothing, and the Miralax colonoscopy prep is giving me overflow diarrhea. Small bits are coming off the impaction. Apart from the hospital enemas I got Saturday, what else can I do? I feel like the impaction just way too big to get out, and it seems like nothing is softening it enough. Let me just check my... So do you guys have any questions for me? Why am I reading this? I want to inject a healthy dose of fear, okay? A healthy dose of liabilities concerns. Because most of y'all, you ignore these early signs. You want to read the setbacks of other people. Learn from the setbacks of others so you can avoid them. One of the things you can avoid them is to clean out your digestive system. Here we go. Somebody else also says, as far as OTC laxatives, I've been struggling with severe chronic constipation for a couple of years now, but it's only gotten worse over the last 6 months or so. I've been prescribed Trulance and lenses, highest doses for both, and neither of those medications are working very well for me at this point. I can pass a little bit of stool, but not much, so I'm constantly extremely backed up. I have to spend about half my waking hours lying down because I'm so bloated and nauseous and often in pain. Why don't you put yourself in the shoes of this individual right now? Okay? And that's going to really help you to have some empathy for this person and think about, this could be me one day if I don't fix this early. As far as OTC laxatives, nothing really works there either. Dulcolax, enema, suppositories, magnesium citrate, nothing works. I was supposed to have a colonoscopy today, but couldn't keep the bowel prep down. The procedure had been rescheduled for a month from now, and one of the nurses at my GI office prescribed a pill-based cleanse. The pill is called Soothab, and I was warned ahead of time that patients often had trouble completely emptying their bowels with this pill. So given my struggles, I'm doubtful that this will actually work for me. Here is my question. Has anyone gone to the point where nothing works, meds or OTC laxatives, and had to have sort of in-office medical procedure done? I am so sick and so miserable. What about professional colonics? I'm not even sure how those work. If anyone has any advice or experience with this, I'd be very grateful if you could share with me what you ended up doing, what the outcome was like. Thank you. Guys, these Facebook pages, they're filled with tens and thousands of people. And every single day, it's just a different permutation of the same posts people are dealing with. Okay? Just written differently. So over here, do you guys have any questions for me before I jump to the next section? Questions. All right, so here we have a protocol I want you guys to learn about. This is called colon hydrotherapy. You got to do your own research, okay? Colon hydrotherapy over here. Some of you may need to do this right away because you're so backed up, and you have to always work with your doctor, naturopathic doctor, people that are really experienced, people who actually want to see you heal. Okay? Not all doctors want to see you heal. Okay? Don't be so naive. Over here, if you're extremely backed up, this is an option you got to look into. So you're laying down on this apparatus comfortably, and the colon hydrotherapist, they're going to put hot water. The temperature of this water is going to be slightly warmer than your body temperature. They're going to put it through your back end to start to loosen up this waste material stuck in your colon right now. Because right now, your colon is just encrusted with hardened fecal matter. They have to somehow escort this trash out of your body safely. The way that they do that is through colon hydrotherapy. And some of y'all, you need to go and do colon hydrotherapy maybe a couple times in a week, okay? Just to get back to some sense of normalcy. Many of y'all, your colon has been impacted for such a long time, it's already dilated. You guys understand? It's gotten bigger, so you gotta get the waste material out and let the colon heal, kind of restore back down to its normal size. You see guys that just have this extremely bloated stomach, right? Some of these guys are young guys. They're not even old. They are kind of somewhat fit, upper body. You can see their arms, they got some muscle definition, but for whatever reason, they got that dad bod developed already. A lot of that has to do with just trash stuck in the colon, and over time, that trash is not getting out of the colon, but the colon continues to grow and dilate over the years. That's what happens. So you guys got to look into this. So this one only cleans out the colon. It does not clean out the small intestine. So once more, what are we dealing with? Here we have the digestive system, colon hydrotherapist putting hot water through the anus. Hot water is going to work its way through the colon, this 1.5 meters, getting that waste material out. And you can find videos online. There are many videos online. I want you guys to look at them where you can see how people actually go through in one of these sessions. So you become familiar, what you can expect, right? See, there isn't that a fear, right? Because a lot of people don't do these procedures because they don't know what it is and they are fearful, right? Or they're very embarrassed. Listen, there's nothing more important than getting your health right. I don't know why people, they say that it's true. Like when you tell them, yeah, it's such a matter of fact. When you look at their actions, how are they doing any type of detox? No. Are they eating right? No. Are they doing exercise? No. Are they sleeping right? No. But they always say, yeah, health is very important. Now I want to throw something on your radar screen most people ignore, which is internal parasites. One of the reasons people have they are struggling with so many digestive problems is because of internal parasites. And most people ignore them. In fact, most doctors ignore them, or they never properly diagnose you. So you continue to struggle. People don't think that this actually exists in first world countries. Wrong. People can see worms in their Whole Food salmon or in their Costco salmon. Okay, there are hundreds of warehouses all over the world selling Costco salmon. And just because you can't see them doesn't mean they aren't there, because some of them are very, very small, right? Or their eggs are inside this fish. And many people take the salmon home, and what do? They start to roll up sushi with it, right? They have a sushi party, whatever, but they have no idea they are, I would just say, they're actually growing worms inside of them. In Japan, there's a very interesting museum. It's a parasitological museum. In this one museum, they have 60,000 specimens. According to my research, there's about 100 different species of parasites that can attack the human being. The United States also has a national parasite collection. This one has about 100,000 parasites cataloged, and every single year they find a new parasite. Over here we have full-blown organisms. You have liver flukes, pinworms, tapeworms, and roundworms. I'm going to go through these very, very common parasites that attack the human being. Now these parasites, some of them, they can grow to such an incredible size. We're not talking about single-cell protozoans. That could be in a different discussion later. But right now we're dealing with full-blown organisms. So this is the liver fluke. Liver fluke, they first hatch in water. And when it hatches, it's going to attack an intermediary host, such as a snail. They work their way up through the food chain. Okay? They're going to utilize the snail, extract the nutrients off of the snail to grow to a certain size. After they grow to a certain size, they're going to land up on some vegetation. Well, you're going to have some cows or sheep come over and start to eat from this vegetation, and that's how this liver fluke gets inside this animal. Once they're inside this animal, they're going to target the liver. The liver is a storage of vitamins and minerals. It has a lot of nutritional value. Talk to anybody that's in the ranching business. They are doing cattle business. They're raising sheep in the United States, South Dakota, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, I don't care. Australia, New Zealand, same thing. They have to deal with this every single year. They like to attack the liver. They're going to attack your liver because of its nutritional value as well. I want you guys to learn the life cycle and how dangerous these worms are. Now, when you're watching the Food Network, there are a lot of YouTube channels dealing with food, and people are eating fancy. They eat something called steak tartare. This is the French version. This is the Korean version. There's a lot of rare or undercooked meats in Korean barbecue. I used to eat a lot of Korean barbecue, okay? There's always a lot of risk when you're eating undercooked or raw meats. Or eating intestinal products. People here in Asia, they eat a lot of intestinal products, especially pork. I stopped eating this stuff a long time ago, okay? But I ate a lot of hot pot. I used to eat a lot of sushi as well. Now, if you're not getting rid of your internal parasites, you can only expect them to survive and replicate inside your body. That's what they do. That's what they do best. This is the life cycle of a pork tapeworm, or just tapeworms in general. Okay, they're gonna get inside your body. The cycle is, if you're eating undercooked beef, undercooked pork, it's very likely you're gonna be eating nuts and tapeworms. This is what they look like under the microscope. This is the different suckers that they have, which gives them a very good stronghold or foothold on your intestinal walls. This is where they leached all the resources off you. This is called the rostellum. And over here, this is their basic anatomy. One of the problems with tapeworms is that these are hermaphrodites, which means that they can reproduce all by themselves. This is the mouth, the rostellum. These are the suckers. And over here, this is their reproductive system. These are called progonids. Progonids, okay? Over here, this is where they have the eggs. If you're dealing with one beef tapeworm, and this tapeworm has 1,000 to 2,000 progonids, each progonid, inside one of these progonids, can produce 100,000 eggs. If you do the simple math, we're looking at 100 million eggs. Their survival and replication capability of these organisms is through the roof. Over here, somebody in Thailand, they were pulling out a tapeworm from his rectum, and this tapeworm was 59 feet or close to 18 meters. Let's just call it 18 meters, okay? They just kept pulling it out. So some people are dealing with so much digestive problems because they're never really treating or eliminating their internal parasites, okay? But a lot of you go to the doctors, they're going to mock you when you discuss this with them. So you might as well do the research yourself. And it doesn't matter where you live in the world. You might be living in a first world country. You might be in Norway. You might be living in the United States, in Canada, in Switzerland, in Germany. I don't care. Parasites don't care. They only care about, do I have an environment for me to survive and replicate? If you're a pet owner, okay, they also target your pets. So some of you, you're extremely close with your pets, such as your cats. Somebody's pulling out a tapeworm out of their cat. Even the cat is freaked out. This is an American bully, okay, spewing out a whole bunch of roundworms. So roundworms, that's another species of parasites, which we can discuss. So over here, different risks that you have. Okay, raw vegetation, there's risk. If you're dealing with pets and you're very close with your pets, you let them lick all over your face. You let them lick all over your children, okay? You think that they're very cute. Of course they're very cute, but you know some dogs are so stupid, they eat the feces of other dogs. Okay, and if you're traveling abroad, you're going to Thailand, you're going to Cambodia, looking at ancient, architecture. You're not prepared. You don't know how to filter or purify local water. You may be drinking contaminated water, and you go back to the US, and you are just under this cloud of confusion, whole bunch of digestive problems, and you wonder what this problem is, that problem is, and the doctors, they overload you up with antibiotics. Still, your problem is not resolved. Over here, when you are dealing with different parasites that begin to target your organs, this is how you start to get weakening of your organs, where your internal organs are not functioning properly. This is called cysticercosis. And people, they may be dealing with a lot of these different cysts. They're sitting there inside their liver. And over time, your liver is not going to function very, very well. Over here, you have something called neurocysticercosis, where you have different worms. They've gone into your bloodstream, and now they're in your brain. This is called neurocysticercosis, MRI scan. These parasites are literally eating your brains. Pinworms are very common, okay? According to PubMed, this is affecting almost 1 billion people worldwide from all socioeconomic classes. So not only children could be affected by these parasites, but also adults, okay? This is the life cycle of a roundworm. You guys can look that up yourself. Now, you do have a defense system, which is called white blood cells. There are different white blood cells. You guys want to look them up and see what they do, what are their functions. They can get rid of internal parasites. But what is the problem? The problem is that many people are taking corticosteroids. When you are loaded yourself up with corticosteroids, you're suppressing the immune response. Basically, you're telling these guys don't go to work. So they're not getting rid of internal parasites. Basically, there's no police, right? So in that environment, the parasites continue to survive and replicate. Somebody, they didn't deal with their internal parasites. Doctors, they found out he has so many parasites sitting inside their colon, they had to do a surgery operation, pulling out. This is not spaghetti. These are roundworms, okay? So if you're dealing with stomach cramps and pain, unexplained weight gain or weight loss, swollen lymph nodes, okay? Unexplained constipation, diarrhea, persistent gas, dealing with rashes, eczema, hives, and itching. Look at all these parasites. Where do they go to the bathroom? They still have to use the bathroom inside your body. So that is just toxins on top of toxins. You're chronically constipated, right? When you're chronically constipated, it's like an environment that parasites love to thrive in. If you're in and out every single day, parasites have a tougher time staying in your body. But if you're chronically constipated, you basically give them like a beachhead to survive. They're going to use that environment to survive and replicate. And now you're dealing with a whole bunch of other conditions, skin conditions, okay, digestive problems. And you go to the doctors, oh, we just don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. Well, you don't want to end up like this guy. He has so many roundworms trapped inside his liver. The doctors had to pull these roundworms out of his liver one by one. So where are you guys right now? Do you guys want to get rid of them? Well, here are some different herbs. Okay, this is cloves, this is wormwood, vermox, okay? Different tinctures that you can buy. Of course, none of this professional medical advice, diet treatment. For your pets, look into fembenzoyl. For your cats, you may want to look into Frontline Advocate. Of course, this is not professional medical advice, because some cats, they can get extremely sick taking these meds. There are naturopathic doctors for your pets as well. There are herbs that they can formulate to eliminate their internal parasites. So work with different things out there. Now you may have a serious problem. You might have to work with prescription strength. This is albenzool. Now over here, there are many different meds or herbal blends in the market. You want to work with your doctor, naturopathic doctor, find the right winning combination for yourself. I don't particularly recommend doing a parasite cleanse right away because you got to fix your chronic constipation first. A lot of you need to go from the picture on the left to the picture on the right. If you're taking a whole bunch of anti-parasite medications, that's going to make things worse because you are dealing with chronic constipation. Now you have a whole bunch of dead parasites sitting inside of you that you don't know how to get rid of. And that's going to cause even more problem for you. Do you guys have any questions for me? So over here, I'm going to get to the tail end of the presentation. If you guys have any questions for me, if not, I'm just going to leave my links. You guys can get my course, okay? I highly recommend you guys go get this course. Okay, if not, you want to work with me one-on-one, work with me and learn how to fix your problem. But I think for a lot of y'all, you can benefit from one-on-one coaching. So you want to fill out this form. Fill out this form so you guys can really figure out. I can give you guys a roadmap. How to figure out and fix your digestive system, fix your health going forward, okay? So thanks again for watching this video. And I look forward to hearing from you.